Hi there, and welcome to the part 6 of the series where we create Fiverr inside WordPress using Elementor and JetEngine. Now, in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create pages for the sign up and login registration forms. In a previous video, we had created those forms, but we haven't put them on the front page or the front end, sorry. But in this video, we are also going to make sure that whenever a user tries to do register on our platform or the website, we can see the registrations and it can be done successfully without any issue. So let's get started. Now here what we need to do is we need to first create a page, and that page should be like register as a freelancer or something, give it that sort of a name. Now in this page, what I'm going to do is make the template full width. I'll click on publish, and then I'll edit this page with Elementor. So that's how I can add the form which we've created inside Jet Form Builder. Now here I'm going to search for form. So you can see it says Jet Form. I'll paste it right here. I'll give it a padding of 50 px from top and 50 px on the bottom. And here I'll make sure that I need to select the seller sign up form, and clicking on the seller sign up form, I can see all that form fields right here: first name, last name, email, password, confirm password, and register my account. And we can also see the green message, which is a success one, form successfully submitted, and then there's the submission failed one. Now here we can go ahead and change the layout of it if you want. But I think the only thing right now we need to do is we want to make sure, give it a little bit of the styling, and the styling should be changing typography to the for the label. We also need to work on the final thing I'm going to change, and that would be the submit button. So the submit button is going to have the same typography of 18 cabin font. I'll change its color green. The text color should be white. So we don't have a white global color, so I'm going to add that one. The next thing is that we need to change its hover color as well. I'll remove the border. I'll click on hover, and the hover background should be gray and the text is white, so it's all good. Now I also add the label spacing. So here on the bottom we are going to add, and on the top we also are going to add 6 pixels. So that's, I think, pretty much good for our work. Now this page is done. In the next step, I'm going to create a login page with the same sort of styling. In fact, I'm going to copy this whole element and create a new page. Add new page, and that would be the login page. We can further do the work of adding these sort of forms in a pop-up box or Elementor pop-up box, but I think that's some sort of next level thing which is sort of subjective as well. I'll paste that widget right here, and right now instead of like redoing everything again, all we can do is being efficient, choose the login form, and that will do the job. See, it's the same thing now. I'll just rename the page to login, and here I'll go ahead with the full width layout, so that will remove the top heading as well. I'll also add some padding, which I have done for the other container as well in the sign up page. Now click on publish. So we have our two primary pages. One is the sign up and the other one is the login. So here, if I go ahead to the dashboard and click on the pages and I view the login page, I might not see its form, login form at all. I think it works. Okay, but let's go ahead and do our first test on the sign up, or let's do the login as well. I'll copy the link of it. I'll go into the incognito mode. I'll paste this link. Now I'll try to log in. Admin. I think it works really well. That's all good. Now let me create another incognito mode, and in this one I'll work on the freelancer sign up page. So now here I'm gonna be working as freelancer1. Email should be freelancer1@gmail.com. That is going to be our login username and email. The password should be freelancer. You want to just make sure that it is all there. Now I'll click on register my account, and I hope it works. Otherwise we have to inspect what's wrong. Now it says form successfully submitted. This means that the registration was completed. We need to change the success messages and make sure they appear different. But let's go on the login page and see if it works. So now the email should be freelancer1@gmail.com. That is our username. Password should be admin. Oops, I think I entered the wrong password. Okay. freelancer1@gmail.com, and this one should be freelancer. Yeah, I'll click on login, and this will actually work. Perfect. So now what happens is that we do have a sign up and login forms. The sign up form is working, the login form is working. So we are good on that side. Now what's the next step? The next step here is that we want to make sure that someone can come here and create their seller gig, which is going to be a service or that sort of stuff. So let's go ahead and create that form as well. I'll close this incognito mode, and here in the Jet form builder I'll create an add new form. Now we also need to inspect what was going inside the JetEngine forms, and inside that we are going to see edit user, edit post, and new post. So if I click on the new post one, where someone can come and add a new post, we can see here that it has this post ID, thumb, all of that. Here what we need to do is we will create this form by the name of add new gig, and I'll click on start from scratch. Now by default it is asking me, so it includes the post ID. So the post ID can be entered, and then what happens is that it can be published the custom post type we need to publish it to, and that would be the gigs. So basically we are sending the data from this form, which is going to be in Jet form builder, and publish it to the gigs CPT. So that's pretty much straightforward. Now here we do have one text input, text field, and that is going to be, let me delete this one. Yeah, let's delete the button as well, keep things clean. Now here I'm going to add a text field, and the label should be if I go ahead to add new gig. So it has a lot of gig title, description. Yeah, so that should be gig title. Text area field, it should be gig description. Then we do have gig thumbnail, media field, yeah, gig thumbnail, action button, and that is going to be add my gig. Now if you see here that I've kept things really simple and straightforward: gig title, gig description, and gig thumbnail, gig price, and everything. It is just to make sure that whenever someone comes, they can just submit, and then we will put it to the next step or advanced level in other videos. But now we just want to make sure that it works. Now let's go ahead to the Jet form, and here we do have like one save form record. We can delete that as well. We don't need to save records of these. What I can do is click on add new action, and here we can do a lot of stuff. Now here It says update user, and this one is insert update post, and this says insert update term. Now for us in this system right now, it says insert update post. So what we can do is click on here, and post type should be gigs. So as a user or anyone who logs into the system, they can be able to create gigs, and the gigs should be published to the gigs CPT. Post status should be published. Perfect. Now the post ID, it should be the post ID feed, which is already automatically added. Now the post ID is really essential because based on post ID, the post can be published in the CPT, which is the gigs. Gig title should be post title. Gig description should be okay. Here what happens is that we can choose specific fields right from here. So the description should go to the description one. Yeah, see the name, I need to copy it, and post should, yeah, it should be right there. Gig thumbnail should be basically post thumbnail. I think that's pretty much it. Gig price should be, now the pricing is a little bit complicated because if you remember the last time we created a repeater field out of pricing by creating a very dynamic pricing system with having 3 tire planes. So I think that's a little bit overkill for our platform. We can just go with a simple pricing model, and that would be let me click on update, publish this, and I'll change that field. I'll go ahead to the JetEngine post types. Inside the post types, I'm gonna click on gigs, and here I'll replace the pricing repeater to the just a simple text field. Yeah, I'll click on update post type. Yes, and here if I refresh on the add new, so we will have like pricing should be really straightforward, just a simple text. So I'll copy this meta text of it, which is basically the identification of it. I'll insert the insert. It should be gig price. Yeah, pricing. Now I think that's pretty much it, and this has to be added to a page specifically. Now here, if you go ahead to the account page and click on view, you will be able to see that if you click on add new post, it actually helps you or lets you add this new post. It's a default setup. So what we are going to do is we are going to add another link here, and that would be add new gig. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead to the JetEngine profile builder. Inside the profile builder, I'll click on the account page, and here we have multiple man, add new post, edit post, user settings. And see, you can see here that it does have the access of like creating a element. You have to choose an Elementor template. Now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another one, and that would be add new gig. Yeah, and we don't have any existing template for it. We don't need to create a listing template, we just need to have an Elementor template. Add new gig, create template. We will add our form right here, add it right here, and choose the add new gig. Perfect. I'll click on publish. So we do have our template now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. I'll refresh, and we will make sure that the account page has the add new gig thing added. So you can see add new gig is added now. I'll click on save. Now if you go here, you will have our add new gig. Now if I click on add new gig, here what I can do is, now that can be done later on, because here what's happening is that it is going out of the sidebar. So I'll fix that and in the next video. So here a sample gig inside the gig description. This is just a typical gig description. Now here I'll choose a thumbnail for it, and the gig price should be, let's say, 10. I'll click on add my gig. Changing type of post is not allowed. Add save form record action to enable div mode for more details. So it is saying that this form is sort of having an issue. Now, upon a little bit of checking, I remember that I made a little mistake, and the mistake was that whenever I was creating this action, I can see here that the field map post ID is set to post ID. Now it says will update the post. That means that if I'm assigning a post ID here, so it means that it should already pick up a post ID and it should update that existing post, because we are going to create another form, and that is going to work and make sure that our gigs can be customized and edited as well. Now the problem here is that right now we are creating a new gig, or let's say new service, so we don't have to assign a post ID at all because it's already empty. What we need to do is we need to make it empty, and then we'll click on update and I'll click on save. Now if we go back to the seller dashboard, and here I go ahead to the gig title should be a sample gig, a sample description, and then I'll click on, now our thumbnail is also selected. I'll add a gig price, and here if I click on add my gig, it will actually publish and add the gig. That's good. Now here if I go ahead to the gigs, I'll click on all gigs, I'll see that sample gig is added, and if I click on view, it will view it properly as well. Now it's just the title. We also need to have a proper gig complete view as well, so that's going to be added as well. So that's how it works. We have now successfully three sort of forms. One is the sign up, the other one is the login, the other one is right now creating a gig or service. So I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a great day. Bye bye.